They say every secret has a frequency, that every whisper, every thought, every forgotten memory exists somewhere in the air around us, a silent wave waiting to be tuned in. For most people, the radio is just music, news, and traffic. But for those who venture to the fringes of the dial, there's another world, a world of ghost transmissions, number stations, and chilling echoes from the past. My name is Elias, and for the last 15 years, I've been a deep wave radio enthusiast, a ghost hunter of the airwaves. I've heard it all, the distorted pleas of sailors lost at sea, the robotic chatter of Cold War spies, and the strange looping melodies of unknown broadcasters. I thought I was prepared for anything. I was wrong. What I found on the farthest, most desolate end of the frequency spectrum wasn't a signal. It was an echo, and it wasn't from the past. It was from somewhere else entirely. The sound of static hum begins to subtly pulse in the background, like a heartbeat. It started 3 months ago. My setup is a hobbyist's dream, a custom-built receiver with a massive antenna array that can pick up signals from thousands of miles away. It's designed to filter out the noise and hone in on the faint whispers. I was scanning the 27,000 kilohertz band, a region known for atmospheric interference and the occasional rogue signal from another continent, when I picked it up. It was a faint, almost non-existent signal, barely a needle flicker on my display. It wasn't a human voice, or even a recognizable sound. It was a feeling. A low, persistent vibration that seemed to travel not from the speakers but directly into my bones. My software, which is designed to identify signal types, couldn't classify it. It was just a blank slate on the screen. I spent weeks trying to clean it up, to amplify it, to make it something recognizable. My initial recordings were nothing but a deep, resonant tone, like a whale's song played through a cracked loudspeaker. But the more I listened, the more I began to hear something underneath the tone. A rhythm, a pattern. And then, one night, as I was drifting off at my desk, a voice cut through the drone. A sudden sharp crackle of static. The hum intensifies slightly. It was a man's voice, weak and distorted by what sounded like an incredible distance. Is anyone there? My heart leapt into my throat. This was the holy grail for a radio enthusiast, a live, unrecorded transmission from an unknown source. I frantically tried to respond, sending out a burst of my own signal, a simple, "Hello, this is Elias. Who is this?" Silence. Just the deep, bone-rattling hum. Over the next few weeks, the voice would return, but never in response to my queries. It was always the same phrase, spoken with a growing sense of desperation. Is anyone there? Can anyone hear me? I can't get out. The words weren't transmitted sequentially. They were like fragmented pieces of a conversation, appearing at random intervals, often separated by hours or even days. My obsession grew. I started to chart the transmissions. I mapped the times, the subtle shifts in frequency, the background hum. It was all a complete mystery. One morning, the hum stopped. The silence was more terrifying than the noise. I sat there, my headphones on, for 5 hours, waiting for something, anything. Just as I was about to give up, a new sound came through. It was a faint, high-pitched scratching, like a fingernail dragged across a wooden board. It was followed by a gasp, a sound of someone suddenly inhaling air, as if they had just woken up. And then the voice returned, but this time it was different. It wasn't a question. "You can hear me." The words were spoken with a chilling finality. It wasn't a question, it was a statement of fact. My blood ran cold. I couldn't sleep. The scratching sound, the gasp, and that one declarative sentence haunted me. I tried to find a logical explanation, a recording, a repeater station, but nothing fit. The signal was a ghost. It had no physical source I could trace. It came from nowhere. The next time I heard the voice, it was clearer, almost as if it were getting closer. "I can see you. You're in the dark, with the lights blinking." My lights. I looked around my room, my equipment, the blinking LEDs and digital readouts. were the only source of light. I had been sitting in the dark just as he described. How could he know that? The humming returned, but this time it was higher pitched, almost a whine. And with it came a second voice, a child's voice, a girl, sobbing quietly. "Daddy, I'm scared. The door is gone. The walls are moving." The man's voice returned, strained and full of panic. "Don't look at the walls, Clara. Don't look at it. I can't find the dial, the way out. It's gone." He was looking for a way out. He was trapped somewhere. And he thought my radio was the dial. My mind raced. Was this a distress signal from a hidden bunker? A group of survivors? But what did he mean? The walls are moving. Then the final piece of the puzzle fell into place, and the true horror of the situation became clear. Conclusion: The Echo, 10 o'clock to end. The last transmission came late last night. It was the man's voice, not desperate or panicked, but filled with a profound, terrifying resignation. "You're not a radio, are you?" he said. His voice was right in my ear, as if he were standing next to me. "You're a receiver. You're picking up the signals of every lost person who ever tried to escape." The man's final words were a whisper. "I can see you now. I can see your room, your lights, and the hum. That's your frequency. You're the one who found the way in. The way out is me." The static hum returned, louder than ever before, but this time it was different. It wasn't just noise. I could hear whispers within it, not from a radio, from my own room. I heard the faint, high-pitched sobbing of the little girl, Clara, and the desperate scratching sound. I looked at the old radio. The dials seemed to glow faintly. I have not been able to turn off the radio. I can't unplug it. It's no longer connected to a power source. It just hums, a low, constant vibration that fills my room, and sometimes I hear a new voice. A voice that sounds eerily like my own, distorted and faint, asking, "Is anyone there?"